we were all gathered at Portsmouth and Southampton in that area, and I would admit that the sea was terrible. And he lowered the boat, and away we went into Portsmouth, wherever his headquarters were, down the river there, some naval building, and picked up his fresh orders, you know. So we knew, we thought we were going on the day because we'd mustered. We were actually out at anchor, ready to go. And then, when we come back, we had trouble finding the bloody ship. Because, yeah, you couldn't use lights, you know, and you're looking around. And then, in the end, when we found it, we were getting the boat on board then, because you were going up and down, up and down. So we did it, and away we went. I think we set sail about midnight. And all this happened around about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And we knew where we were going, like, and with it having been postponed, the weather did abate a little bit. So I think they made the right decision to go. It was quite rough going over, and the people you felt sorry for was the soldiers, because they get seasick and they're not used to a boat really going that way and that way. Yeah, we used to laugh, we shouldn't laugh, but it was terrible. But we landed up, and see, when we left, there was that many boats involved. You couldn't see the water for boats. There's boats everywhere. And you thought, well, look at this. Nothing can happen to us. Because each time you have a landing, you think to yourself, what's this going to be like? And so it was, you're galloping along there full of the joys of spring, really. You're looking around at all these ships and think, Christ, look at that. But when we got there, I don't know exactly what time we landed. Well, we arrived out there, but we didn't go in until 10:30, you see. The initial landing was around 6:30, 7, something like that. And there was heavy gunfire from the big ships, and they had the air raids going in. They tried a little bit of air raids coming out, which wasn't very successful, I don't think. They were fighting back of a fashion. And they were shelling from further inland. That was more successful. But that was mainly because we were carrying barrage balloons. All our flotillas got bloody blimp or a barrage balloon up in the air. So if you're up in a church just in the country, you can see all these set sites. And it was only somebody realised that while we were getting pounded that they cast them off. But they must have had a good laugh at that, because you could see the bloody barrage balloons when, you know, they're up to stop the aircraft coming down on the beach at us. I don't know who thought that one out, but I didn't realise until the next trip over, like, there was some Marines in a boat, and they were picking dead bodies out of the water and throwing them in the boat. And, you know, you're looking over the stern, and you think, bloody hell, look at that. And it didn't come home to me what it was. I hadn't thought about it, having lost their lives while we were still popping it, you know, because we were on the beach all day. We couldn't come off until the tide come in, you see. The advantage of our ship, you see, we took prisoners back, we took wounded back, or anything that needed to go back would come aboard us because we had a big tank space, you know. And we've carried everything in our time. We had an operating theatre at the end of the tank deck, and if any of the wounded that they threw aboard on stretchers, if any was wanting immediate, then they would operate on him in the hope that they could save him. But the walking wounded stayed on the beach and went to the tents out on the beach, you know, and the nurses, like, just give them something, a couple of pills and a bit of wrapping paper. But well, they must have been brave.